So I figured it's been like 2 months, so I should probably give you guys an update. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a really good one. After the Hamburg show, I went through a personal, I'm just gonna say it was a personal trauma. I'm not gonna get into it. And it really screwed me up in the head. So I just kind of stepped back from YouTube and a lot of other things. I do have more snakes now. Since Hamburg in April, I did pick up 4 more ball pythons, technically 5, but I'll get into that later on. Right now I currently have 6 of them, and eventually I'm going to make a video introducing all of them to you guys, because I know I have Bella, who's my bumblebee that I featured in my snake video, and my super pastel lesser male, Soba, but I do have 4 more. And I'm gonna leave a link to it in my description because I don't think I've ever actually done that. I am more active on my Instagram, and it's mostly pictures of my animals, my snakes, other random snakes that I kind of make friends with, and occasionally I do have a tarantula thrown in there. And that's where we're gonna actually start this video. As you guys can see, I have a dead tarantula here. And this is the E. murinus that I picked up at Hamburg in April. I'm pretty sure it was wild caught. It was a presumed female. I just looked and I didn't see any tibial hooks on the front legs. I don't know what was up with her. She wouldn't dig. She wouldn't web. I had a hard time trying to get her to eat. She refused a lot of prey items. So that's why her abdomen looks so small. Right after this video is done, I have some 91% alcohol and a syringe so I can preserve her. She's been sitting in her enclosure for a couple days though, because I wanted to make sure she was dead and not getting ready to molt or anything. But no, she's gone. She's definitely gone. Yeah, after this video is done, I'm going to be going and getting a jar, and I'm going to start preserving her. And I'm probably going to move my egg chalcodes to her tank, just because it's easier to get in and out of than the display case I have her in right now, but that's going to be a nightmare in itself. Unfortunately, my Avig is also on his way out. I don't know what was wrong with him, but a couple days ago I found him on the floor of his enclosure in a death curl. So I sprayed his tank down a little bit, and I don't ever spray down his enclosure. He has a water dish. But he got up and he climbed up the wall a little, but now he's curling on the side of the tank. And it's been 3 days. I keep offering him water. He keeps drinking it, but he's not getting any better. And I'm at the point where I might just put him in the freezer just to end his suffering, because I can't stand seeing him like that. It's been really, really hot here, so I don't know if that's contributing to it, but all of my other tarantulas are fine. My slings are fine. My smallest sling, my G. pulchra, is fine. And all my other animals in that room are okay, so I don't know what's going on. Now, if you guys hear crying in the background or someone yelling, it's my neighbor upstairs, and I apologize for that. They have a little kid that likes to run into walls or something. So earlier in the video, you heard me mention that I had 7 ball pythons. At least I think I had said that. Anyway, I had 7 for a few hours, but I want to start at the beginning, basically. My boyfriend and I met this guy at Hamburg in April. He had a couple of snakes on his table, but it was only a handful of them, so we thought it was a little weird. We got his number anyway because they were a good price. They were breeder size, and I had mentioned in another video that I want to start breeding my ball pythons, and that's why I'm at 6 right now. Anyway, at the last Hamburg, the one that was at the beginning of June, he was there again, and he had this big female lemon blast, and I really love pinstripe. It's one of my favorite genes, actually, and I was down at our local shop playing with a baby pin that they had there, and fell in love with him, but somebody bought him, and I don't really... Right now I'm at an even split of males and females, and I don't really need another male. I don't want to keep too many males, just because you can breed a male to multiple females. So anyway, he had this lemon blast, and my boyfriend, who is not a ball python person, really, really liked her. He told me, listen, if we don't find the 2 snakes that you're looking for, or 1 snake, because at the time I thought I had a male, and I found a different one. But I'll do another video on that eventually. Anyway, he tells me, listen, if we don't find the snakes that you want while we're here, I think you should buy that female because she's really pretty and she's a good price. We ended up finding the pair that I wanted. I wanted pieds, and I found a female het pied for $40. She's still a baby. She's only like that big. She's got to be like a year old or something like that. And then I found a visual male for $150. So that was all the money that I brought. Boyfriend got this guy's number anyway in April, so he's had it in his phone. So one of the reptile groups I belong to, somebody was selling a hybrid anaconda between a green and a yellow. Now, we live in an apartment. She was only 4 feet long. She's still a baby. And we really didn't have the room for it. But that was like my boyfriend's dream snake. And this guy was asking dirt cheap for her, like next to nothing. 5 years ago, if you went to a reptile expo, we saw them for $300. We saw greens for $300. And every expo we've gone to since then has been, like, their price has skyrocketed since the whole CITES thing. So their price jumped up to like $1,400. It's insane. I was messaging the guy. He was kind of jerking me around, and I think it's because I'm a girl. He didn't want to, like, he wasn't willing to work with me. But my boyfriend started messaging him, and he started, like, bending over backwards to make a sale and all this other stuff. He wouldn't ship him. The guy lives 4 hours away from us. And when we asked about meeting us halfway, he was like, okay, well, I want you to come to this area, which is longer for us to drive to, and it was like, it would have been a 6-hour round trip for us, but we were willing to do that. So we had everything arranged, and we were gonna go buy the snake, and that morning, my boyfriend messages him because he didn't hear from the guy, and he tells my boyfriend, I'm at a reptile expo trying to sell her right now, but there's other ones here, and if she doesn't sell, you can still buy her. So that was the end of that. But he still had this other guy's number, so he's like, you know what, let me text this guy and see if he still has the lemon blast. So he texted him, and the guy did have her, and we were gonna meet him to pick her up that night. I'm just warning you guys, I'm probably gonna get emotional during this, and I apologize in advance. Because I don't like doing that, but it's, you know, it is what it is. So we meet the guy that night, and he brings the snake to us, and he had told us when we saw her at the beginning of the month that she had literally just laid a 9-egg clutch that week. He got her in a trade with somebody. He didn't need her because he had a nicer lemon blast female. And while we were on our way to meet him, he called my boyfriend and said, listen, she has a spot on her mouth where she got tagged by a rat, and I've been treating it. It's up to you whether you still want her or not. So we took the chance. We got her, we looked at her, she was so skinny. Like,
abnormally skinny, even for a female that just laid eggs. Like, her skin was hanging off around her neck. And when we took her out of the container, we ended up actually, right after paying this guy and getting her, we brought her to a buddy of ours that has been a vet tech for 17 years. And we took her to him, and he took the lid off of her little enclosure thing. It's one of these things. This is what our banded swamp snake that we just got came in. But he took her out of the thing, and we brought her into the rat room at his shop. And he offered her a fresh-killed small rat. And she showed interest in it, but she didn't want it. And this guy told us that the last time she ate was like 2 weeks ago. Just the entire time we were talking to this guy, red flags just started popping up everywhere with me. But I didn't want to leave her with him after seeing her. So we tried giving her the rat. She didn't want it. She wouldn't take it. So we take her out of the container, and she has stuck shed all over her. Her buddy actually, like, he picked her up because he wanted to look in her mouth first. And this was an adult-sized snake. Like, she was big, like a 4-foot long female. And he picked her up, and she just went limp. Like, she had no strength. He looks in her mouth, and he squeezes the side of it, and a bunch of pus comes out. She has mouth rot. Like, severe mouth rot. And she has, like, the stuck shed. He was rubbing her mouth, and the shed came off. He peeled off the top part of her head. So he says, alright, let's run an iodine bath for her and see how she does. We'll leave her overnight and I'll check her tomorrow. So he hands her to me, and she's curled up in my hands, and then so I'm holding her, and then all of a sudden she slithers up to my shoulder and just rested her head there. And she just stood there, and I felt so bad for her. We leave her there overnight. I got called into work yesterday, so all day I was worried about her. I was literally in the mods at my job picking items, trying not to cry thinking about her because I was so worried about her. We didn't hear anything from our buddy. And this morning I wake up, my boyfriend texted me and he goes, honey, I have bad news. And I just knew. I just knew. She didn't make it. Between the mouth rot, she couldn't eat. She was so skinny. Once he took her out of the bath, he put her in a rack, and her mouth just kept filling up with fluid, so he thinks she had pneumonia. On top of everything else. I'm beside myself right now. I called up my mom, and I was hysterically crying on the phone with her. And she's like, well, it's just a snake. You didn't even have her for a day. And it's like, you don't understand. The reason why we took her to begin with was because we knew that if she stayed with him, she was gonna die. I mean, we tried. We did everything we could for her. I'm just really broken up about it, and I don't know what to do. This guy offered us another female. And this female is the reason why he was letting this other one go. He said he's got a nicer lemon blast that he's willing to sell us, that he was gonna breed, and now I don't know what to do. I told my boyfriend if he's gonna make this deal with this guy, he's gonna have to go alone because I don't know what I'm gonna do when I see him. Over a snake. Now he's asking for pictures so he can send them to the guy that he got her from. If he doesn't want her body back, I'm trying to find somebody to cremate her, because even though we only had her a little while, it's like, I know better than to project human emotion on these animals. I know that they don't have the brain capacity to feel emotion like people do, but like that night that she like was resting her head up on my shoulder, I can't I can't help but think she was like saying thank you. I'm also gonna leave a link in the description to my Etsy shop, because if we're able to cremate her, it's not gonna be cheap. I have these necklaces that I make out of like semi-precious stones. I have other colors right now. I have like a dozen of them that I need to upload. I also make the Christmas spider ornaments that I just haven't posted yet, but I have a few of those, and that'll at least help with the cost of getting her cremated. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry that this video wasn't really a happy one, and I'm sorry that I like broke down towards the end of it, but it's like, I hate people. I really do. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully the next one isn't gonna be another 2 months down the road and that it's a happier one.